Hello guys. Yes, I know. It's been a while. Been treating this channel like I left for a gallon of milk and never came back. This channel is well alive. Honestly, I'm happy that basically I left it at 260, came back, still at 260 about, so not that many unsubscribed. If you guys stay subscribed, I appreciate all of you guys. This channel is going to be more active. I know I've been gone for almost about a year, about 6 months. Anyway, originally I was gonna actually do a video of me picking up my Switch 2 pre-order, like when I first went in line, right? Originally I didn't really think I was gonna be that lucky to get one in store, like for the pre-order when it came out all the way, I think it was June and the beginning of May. I was like doing a DoorDash because I do that on the side sometimes, and I was close by to my local GameStop, so I was like, you know what, it was like 12 p.m. I thought they were doing their pre-order reserves at midnight the day before or some other time. I just thought, or like maybe early in the morning, like 10 a.m. when they open. But I had a curiosity. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go check the GameStop and see if they have any pre-orders, if people are in line. I'm gonna see what's up. Literally, it was like 2 minutes away. I pulled up and the first thing I saw was a big ass line outside the GameStop, and I was like, oh, I still have a chance. So I parked my car, I ran to the line, and when I got there I was like, so what's up with this line? Like, there was a good amount of people there, like in front of me outside the store lined up, but there was already people inside the store lined up too. They told me when I got there that they cut the line. Like, there was a couple, maybe 2 people ahead of me that told me they cut the line on them, that there's no more Switches. There were still people waiting in line behind them, including me, those 3 waiting in line for a Switch, or to see, I guess, if they're gonna get lucky. I just decided to wait. I waited there for 30 minutes. Maybe like 2 more people came. They saw the line. They had the same thought as me. They came and see what's up. Line kept moving. As soon as we went into the store, because like I said, there's a line in the store still, just like the couple said. As soon as they went up to the counter, the GameStop employee was saying, you guys are here for a Switch 2. Unfortunately, we have none in this location. I thought I took an L because I waited there for 30 minutes when literally my GameStops are like almost right next to each other. There's the one outside of the mall and there's one inside the mall. I didn't think about the mall location until somebody like mentioned, like, oh, I gotta go back to work, because there are people that literally left their job or came on their break just so they can come pre-order the Switch 2. That's how much demand this Switch 2 had. Like, obviously there's this whole internet craze where like you don't own the Switch, the games are expensive, which they are expensive. I'm not gonna say they're not expensive. A lot of negativity, and people really didn't think Nintendo fanboys were gonna eat this up, like they're not gonna buy the console. Nah, this Switch sold OD in like 3 days. I think about like 4 million, 3 million, like way more than the original Switch did in their first couple days. After the guy mentioned about the mall location, I literally light bulb went in my head. I was like, oh shit, yeah, the mall. But I'm like, I already wasted 30 minutes over here. Why would the mall have any available Switches? I would think it'd be busy. Testing my luck, I went. There was like a small line. The store was already open. And literally as soon as I got there was some lady in front of me telling me that they still had bundles. I'm so happy that the GameStop in the mall had enough pre-orders, or they had enough units for even people that didn't wait in line to reserve one, or still able to go in, and obviously within a certain time frame after they decided to open their doors. But I got lucky. There was like 10 more bundles left and like 3 or 2 more single consoles, like without the game. Either way, I was excited and happy because I knew I was not gonna wait to get my Switch. Now, a lot of people actually had some luck getting it on release day. I heard some people literally just didn't pre-order it. They just either waited in line before the store opened, tested their luck, and they had it in stock. If that's true, kudos to Nintendo for having enough devices already in stock. You know, scalpers won't really benefit this much this time around like they did with the Switch 2, or even with the new gens PS5 and the Xbox Series. So of course, I went and picked up my Switch. I actually had to get it the day after release day. Luckily, GameStop holds your pre-order 72 hours. I went maybe the day after, and they called me to make sure, like, hey, you gonna come pick up your Switch? Because if you don't pick it up, we're gonna have to sell it on the floor. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Nintendo fanboys waiting to see if somebody wasn't gonna pick up their pre-order at any store. I was like, no, I'm 100% getting this thing. When I got there, they told me that there was still one more Switch that hasn't been picked up. I'm pretty sure the guy can't pick it up. It was already 7 o'clock. They closed at 9. That would suck if, say, you pre-ordered it and you weren't able to pick it up. So after I picked up my Switch, obviously I rushed home and I opened this bad boy up just so I can start transferring my games. Off the bat, when I first opened this, guys, I was already thrown off on how big this thing is. Yeah, I agree with everybody. The original Switch is pretty small, especially if you're an adult with medium to big size hands. It could feel a little cramped. I had these third-party Joy-Cons, or not really Joy-Cons, but they're attachments or controllers that made the Switch a bit more bulky and made it for me more comfortable. This video isn't really a review, more of like a first impressions of me owning it for the past week. I've been having an amazing time. I've been playing basically Mario Kart Wonder, Mario Kart World, been a blast. I enjoy the online. The knockout tour is mad addicting. I have a huge Nintendo Switch collection, physical and digital. More digital, but I'll talk about physical in a bit. I just felt like this, I really wanted this just so I could have a better Nintendo Switch experience. The older games that really were like ran not that well, but I put up with it because it's a really good game and it's Nintendo, are running way better on the Switch 2, way better than I expected. Certain games like Pokemon actually works now, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised I dealt with how broken that game was all the way to the end of the game. I didn't play the DLC, my brother did, but now that it runs 60 frames per second, buttery smooth on both handheld and TV. I deleted my save file. I saved my Pokemon in the Pokemon Bank. I deleted my save file and restarted my Pokemon Violet. You can call me a Nintendo fanboy or whatever. Me personally, I've been loving my Switch 2. I haven't been putting it down. The overall screen is not OLED, it's LCD, but even though it's LCD, it's 1080p, 120 Hz. It looks pretty nice. The colors are not like, they're pretty bright. Coming from a Switch OLED to this, I can clearly tell, you know, certain colors are not as vibrant as my OLED, but either way it's still pretty good. And being a 1080p screen really helps it forget the fact that it's an LCD screen. Joy-Cons are way bigger, way more comfortable. I actually am pretty happy about them doing that because I'm someone that when I go hang out with friends, I'm always playing it on tabletop mode. Sometimes I would bring my Pro controller, a regular third-party wireless controller, and maybe a few Joy-Cons, just because there were certain people like the Joy-Cons were too small for their hands. This is a good sweet spot, you know, not too big but not too small either when it comes to playing it on the sides. Battery life, a lot of people were complaining about battery life. Now I understand if you're someone that likes to sit down, you know, on their time off, maybe play 5 hours straight on your handheld, yes, this battery life will be disappointing to you. If you're someone that's like to play for a few hours, then gotta go do what they gotta do because you're a busy guy, this is a pretty okay battery. I'm definitely gonna buy whatever OLED Switch they're gonna have after this because I know they're gonna have a better battery. If you're traveling, this will die pretty fast if you're playing intensive games. Most people have been saying that it's about 2 to 2.5 hours when you're playing Cyberpunk 2077. I don't own that game on my Switch yet. I own it on PC. I do plan on buying it for my Switch because it looks like an impressive game to be running on handheld. Personally, me, the battery life is all. I do wish it was bigger, but it'll do for now. Nintendo also released some sort of statement about the battery life percentage not reading correctly. I'll show up an article here. Basically, if you just go to Nintendo's Twitter or their website, they'll tell you factory settings of the Switch. Now, on the new games for the Switch, I'm going to touch on this quickly. There are full games, like on the game cartridge. There are game key cards. Basically, you get a physical cartridge, but it's basically you have the license to play the game. Like, you don't need constant Wi-Fi to play those game key cards, by the way. And then there's all digital games, and there's like two forms, obviously the Nintendo eShop, or games like Split Fiction where people thought it was physical and they open it up and they get a download code. If you're somebody that likes to collect, you know, these game boxes, you'll get a little mad about getting a game code, but hey, you bought it for the box, so at least you still have the box instead of going fully digital. I buy most of my games digitally, but I do support physical media in the sense of I understand why everybody is mad about these companies moving away from physical games and moving closer to digital games. Basically, they're trying to move forward to a whole generation where we don't own anything at all. We don't own our games, we don't own our music, or we don't even own our movies if you start not buying physical movies. But I will be buying physical games here and there. Cool. Some of the box art is pretty cool. Cyberpunk 2077, most likely I'm gonna buy it physically. Like, this is the majority of my Switch physical collection. Like, I have about 40 games digitally. I'm pretty dumb with my physical games when it comes to the cartridge because I lose them. That's kind of why I buy digital games, because you know you can't lose a digital game unless you lose your account. That's a whole different situation, but that's the one thing that worries me with digital games, where it's on your account, and if you get banned from that account, or if say someone hacks you, or you give your password to somebody that you wish you didn't give it to them, and they change your whole account, all that money you invest into your account down the drain. Whereas if you had physical media, obviously it's your game. If you have it, you don't lose it, it's still your game. So yeah, that's my situation with physical and digital. I've lost like 3 Switch games, one of them being my Breath of the Wild, another one being a copy of Mario Kart and Mario Golf. Physical media should always be an option to gamers, whether they want to buy their game physically or they want to buy it digitally. It shouldn't be something that they should just take away from us. I hope Nintendo stays with their physical media, because it feels like they're the only ones that kind of still care, but not really, because you know they invented the game key card. Now Mario Kart World is pretty cool, and I've been playing a good amount of it, but honestly what my Switch has been playing the most is The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. This isn't Zelda Wind Waker HD, which I wished Nintendo released by now, but I don't even think they're gonna release it, since Nintendo said, alright, we're not gonna port that over from the Wii U to the Switch. So instead Nintendo decided to give us GameCube games exclusively coming to the Switch too. You have to pay for your subscription obviously to Nintendo Switch Online, but when I heard they're gonna bring GameCube finally to Nintendo Switch Online, I was so happy, because there were so many great games on the GameCube. And when I saw their first game, well, when I saw one game out of the 3 that they're gonna release day one was Wind Waker, I was so excited, and that's when I knew I had to buy my Switch day one, because I really wanted to play Wind Waker on my Switch, or just Wind Waker in general. I know I can emulate it on the PC or whatever, but that's not really that intuitive to, you know, turn on and just start playing. So yeah, I've just been playing a lot of Wind Waker on my Switch too. I've been loving it. I've been loving my overall Switch. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the dock. It's way bigger than the last time. It's way more ventier. There's an actual fan in here that helps the Switch, you know, kick the power, I think, at its full max, just so you can enjoy those 4K Nintendo games and high quality third-party games on your big screen TV. The other one just had vents for the Switch to breathe. I remember when the first Switch came out, a couple months after it came out, I'd say there were some complaints about the dock scratching your Switch. Luckily, when I bought that Switch, my Switch, I put a screen protector on right away, so I didn't really care. It didn't really bother me because I had a screen protector. So when I saw Nintendo decided to put a glossy plastic in the dock, I kind of thought, oh, they learned from their mistakes, and maybe this would help prevent your Switch from getting scratched up badly. Yeah, I guess that's not really how it works. And yeah, I guess that really doesn't help, because I'm an idiot and I didn't put I ordered my screen protector online and I wasn't able to put on a screen protector on my Switch right away. So I was raw dogging it for a couple days, and yeah, I have like baby scratches. Now they're not deep, they're not like, oh, when I play it's annoying, but when I go outside, like the other day I went to go play my Switch in the sun, like outside, they were noticeable. I was so disappointed. It's kind of my fault for not putting on a screen protector. I don't know if you can see it right here in the corner. Yeah, don't be like me, guys. When you get your Switch, put on a screen protector right away, because this dock still is prone to scratch your Switch, no matter how nice, glossy, the plastic, soft it is inside the Switch. Put on a screen protector, because this device is expensive, and if you don't got insurance for your device, this is the only one you got until, you know, they come out with more stock or whatever. So yeah, careful with putting your Switch in the dock without a screen protector, because it will still scratch your system. Overall, all of the games on my Switch on the TV has been looking amazing in 4K. This video was just my first impressions. I've been really happy with my purchase. I can't wait for Donkey Kong Bonanza to come out, and I can't wait to see what Nintendo's gonna bring forward to the table with this new console. You know, the new big 3D Mario game, or even what other ports or remasters that they're gonna bring to this Nintendo console. If any of you guys bought a Switch too, let me know down below in the comment section. I also want to know how many of you guys went to go pick up the Switch 2 without pre-ordering it. Like, how many of you guys were successfully able to buy one day one on launch at the store? That's it for this video, guys. I appreciate everybody who stayed and subscribed to my channel. You're gonna see more videos coming, and until next time, like, subscribe, catch you